She just found out who she has to beat to make history, and the whole tennis world is holding its breath. Somewhere in New York City right now, a 21-year-old from the Philippines is staring at a bracket that could define the rest of her career. One name in that draw would turn her next match into the most talked-about rematch of the entire US Open. Is it there? Nobody's saying it out loud yet. But if it is, get ready because this is about to get personal. Before we get into it, if you're new here, hit subscribe because we're about to break down exactly what's on the line for Alex Eala in New York, and you do not want to miss how this story unfolds over the next 2 weeks. Let's rewind to where this all started, because to understand why New York matters so much, you have to go back to a brutal night in Ohio a couple of weeks ago. Cincinnati, the Lindner Family Tennis Center. Alex Eala walked in as the player everyone was suddenly talking about, and for good reason. She took the first set 6-4. Amanda Anisimova, the American world number 10, leveled it 6-4. Then, in the decider, Eala broke serve twice to storm out to a 2-0 lead. For a few minutes, it looked like she had this. The crowd could feel it. And then it slipped away. Anisimova won 6 straight games. 6. Eala's night ended 4-6, 6-4, 6-2, and just like that, her 5-match winning streak against top 10 opponents. A streak that included wins over Elena Rybakina, Alina Svitolina, and Iga Swiatek was over. Anisimova herself admitted afterward it was a battle, saying she knew going in just how tough a competitor Eala is. That's not nothing. That's one of the best players in the world telling you she had to fight for it. But here's the thing about Alex Eala this season. Every time she's been knocked down, she's come back harder. And 2026 has been, without exaggeration, the best year of her career. Let's talk about what she'd already built before Cincinnati ever happened, because it's genuinely historic. In August, Eala won the Mubadala DC Open in Washington and became the first player from the Philippines in history to win a WTA Tour singles title. She did it the hard way too. In the final, she went down a set to world number 3 Jessica Pegula, then came storming back to win 4-6, 6-4, 6-0, taking the last 9 games of the match. Along the way to that final, she'd already beaten Olympic champion Zhang Qinwen, defending champion Leylah Fernandez, and former world number 1 Naomi Osaka. Then came Wimbledon, and this is the moment that really put her on the map worldwide. Third round, center court, and standing across the net was Iga Swiatek, the defending champion. Eala won a brutal opening set tiebreak 9-7, then closed it out 6-2, dethroning Swiatek in one of the biggest upsets of the entire tournament. It sent her into the 4th round of a Grand Slam for the first time in her career, and made her the first Filipino player ever to reach the 2nd week of a major. She broke down in tears afterward, talking about growing up training with her brother and her grandfather back home. If you haven't seen that on-court interview, it is worth searching out. So by the time Cincinnati happened, Eala wasn't just some feel-good underdog story anymore. She was a legitimate threat, a Grand Slam title contender, someone every top player in the world was circling on the schedule. And that loss to Anisimova? It stung. But here's what's wild. It didn't slow her down. It sped her up. 2 weeks later, on August 24th, Eala hit a brand new career-high ranking of number 18 in the world, climbing past her previous best of number 20. That made her the first Filipina in WTA history to crack the world's top 20. Now she's in New York, and this is where it gets tense. Eala arrives at the US Open seeded 17th, the highest seeding of her career at any Grand Slam. She's already made history at this exact tournament once before, back in 2025, when she beat Denmark's Clara Tauson to become the first Filipino ever to win a Grand Slam main draw match in the Open era. But before we even get to her singles run, there's already been drama. Eala teamed up with Canadian star Felix Auger-Aliassime for the US Open's new mixed doubles event, and it did not go the way Filipino fans hoped. In their very first match, they ran into married couple Gael Monfils and Alina Svitolina, and lost in a lightning-fast 4-1. It was over in under 40 minutes. A tough way to start the week, and honestly, a reminder that nothing in New York is guaranteed, no matter how hot your form is. So all eyes shift to singles. Today, August 27th, is the day the US Open women's singles draw is revealed. As of this moment, we don't officially know who Eala's first-round opponent is. What we do know is the list of seeded players she could realistically run into as the tournament progresses. Aryna Sabalenka, the top seed and defending champion. Elena Rybakina. Jessica Pegula, seeded 3rd. Coco Gauff. Iga Swiatek, seeded 8th. And yes, Amanda Anisimova, seeded 10th. If the draw breaks a certain way, Eala and Anisimova could meet again. Not guaranteed, not confirmed, but possible. And if it happens, it wouldn't just be another match. It would be the rematch every Filipino fan on the planet has been waiting for since that heartbreaking night in Ohio. Here's why this moment matters so much beyond the tennis itself. Eala's rise has turned into something much bigger than one athlete's career. Wherever she plays, Filipino flags show up in numbers tournament organizers don't usually see for a player outside the very top of the game. American players have talked openly about how loud and passionate her support is. Even players' own families have admitted to nearly missing their own matches just to go watch her play instead. For a country that had never had a WTA Tour singles champion until this summer, Eala isn't just representing herself out there. She's representing an entire nation that's been waiting a long time for a moment like this. And the financial stakes in New York are enormous too. Just by being in the main draw, Eala is guaranteed a 6-figure payday. Recent U.S. Open prize structures have paid out roughly $110,000 just for reaching the first round, with that number climbing to around $400,000 if a player reaches the round of 16. Win the whole tournament and the champion walks away with a $5 million check. Eala has said more than once that the money has never been what drives her. But make no mistake, every round she wins in New York changes her life and her sports status back home. So where does that leave us right now? Eala heads into her Grand Slam campaign with a career record against top 10 players that's heavily in her favor in 2026, with Anisimova as the one blemish on an otherwise incredible run. She's the highest seed she's ever carried into a major. She's fresh off the biggest win of her life at Wimbledon. And she's got an entire country, plus a growing global fan base, watching her every move. The draw drops today. Her first match comes on August 30th or 31 at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. And somewhere in that bracket might be the answer to the question everyone's asking. Does Alex Eala get her shot at revenge on the biggest stage tennis has to offer? We don't know yet. Nobody does. But that's exactly what makes this the most anticipated Grand Slam of Alex Eala's career so far. So here's what we want to know from you. If Eala does draw Anisimova again, do you think she gets her revenge this time? And how far do you think she can realistically go in this tournament? Round of 16, quarterfinals, or is a deeper run actually on the table? Drop your prediction in the comments. And if you want to be there for every twist of the story as the draw comes out and Eala's matches unfold over the next 2 weeks, make sure you're subscribed, because we are covering every single step of this run.